Welcome back, everyone. This is episode number 300 we're doing today on
Wow.
the Indie Reads Aloud podcast. And I'm so excited that we get to celebrate 300 with a brand new to me author. She comes all the way from Arizona, and her name is Theresa Sederholt. And she has written just a plethora of stuff. And I'm really, really excited to introduce you and to her and her work to your today. Welcome, Theresa.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so glad you're here. Thank
I'm glad to be
goodness.
here.
Thank goodness for Facebook that you were able to find us.
Yes.
It's super cool. Before we begin, I want to make sure that everybody in listener land understands that we do have a listener advisory for today's program. There is some violence, and because of violence, you might also find mature language or situations. So if you have little ears listening in on the program today, please preview this episode before you share it with the little ones. Okay, tell me about how you decided one day you're going to write a book.
I've done everything in my life that I thought I could do. My husband moved us all over the country because he's a professional chef. So I had to keep reinventing myself every place we went. I worked on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. I was a barista, flight attendant, you name it, I did it. And I can cut the top off of your mini truck too.
How cool.
So then I went to college and I came out of college and I had nothing to do because I was too old to join any of those alphabet agencies like the FBI, the CIA, all of those. And with my degree in criminal justice and a concentration in serial killers, I decided to write a book on my
Well,
husband's urging.
I think that's a very good use of that degree program
Yeah, and it
because,
just took
as
off.
we know, authenticity when you're writing crime is super important.
Yes, it is.
It's
And
good to get the facts right.
I am very, very adamant about doing your research. Know what you're talking about because the reader will know if you don't know what you're talking about.
Oh,
So,
absolutely. There's, our market is flooded with so many crime, thriller, mystery, murder, mayhem kinds of stories. Everybody's been so exposed to those details. So you have to get it right, or they will
right.
call you out on it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
So the book you're going to read today is Murder by Mistake, which is book one of the Black Book series. Can you give me an overarch of the series synopsis so we have an understanding of this world and a little bit about what's going on?
It's about a mafia family, and they, for whatever reasons happen, they moved from Italy to New York to Arizona, and they try to have a normal life, but normal is not in the cards for this family. Well, some of the people, some of the members of the family want a normal life. Some don't even know that they're part of this family. And then the main character dies, and everything comes out. And he dies in the beginning of the book, and he leaves things to different people. And all of this has to come together. And there's a
Got
lot
it.
of twists, a lot of turns. I'm um, very twisted when it comes to, the reader is on a path and they think, oh, we're going down sunshine and roses, and then bam, you get hit with a brick, you know?
Yeah.
So,
I had a friend of mine who once said he was a military policeman, and he once said that the line between the criminal and the police authority is very narrow and
mhm.
easy to cross one to the other. So
Oh, yes, it is.
I find those of you who write this genre, I find that you guys are more detail oriented than maybe, say, a children's book author because you really have to watch where that line goes.
Yes.
Did you find yourself being pulled to one side or the other
I've crossed
more?
that. I've crossed that line numerous times.
So, which
So,
side in your writing, not obviously in your real life, but in your writing, where do you find that your draw falls more on the criminal side or on the police side?
It depends on the criminal. It
Okay.
really does. If the criminal has a heart and you just want to try to, help him or her, then you kind of lean towards the criminal. But if the criminal doesn't have a heart and the good guy is always getting beat up, you want to try to help the good guy.
So you're an underdog fighter.
Of course. Of
That's great.
course.
That's very cool. So there are four books in this series, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And you're going to read a little bit from book one,
Yes.
and it's called Murder by Mistake, and it's from the Black Book series. And this is the format that we're showcasing in the show notes is a special edition. It's the omnibus, for lack of a better word. So those of you who are interested in today's reading, you'll be able to jump into the show notes and learn about the other three books as well. So, Theresa, when you are ready, please take the microphone and read aloud from Murder by Mistake.
Okay, thank you. Prologue. Carmine Amato. We are born and then we die. They are both expected. It's the life we live in between that sets the standards we are willing to live with. Family is everything to me. However, there's always a but. We all have stories that become memories, and before too long, those fade away too. When the book was opened to me, I became a made man. First, I took the oath, the Omerta Code, that we all must live by. You must be loyal and keep your mouth shut. You must put your mafia family before your own flesh and blood. All these years, I thought I did just that. However, when they found out about my insurance policy, all bets were off. Having broken the most important rule, I was no longer the trusted one. To save my family, and of course myself, I did the unthinkable. I sang. The first thing I did was stash my books that detailed all the transgressions of the five families. The logs that show where I funneled cash, diamonds, emeralds, photos that could bring down the United States government if they got out. Then I gave a sample of what I had to the FBI. They were chomping at the bit to get me to agree to testify against the mafia. I gave them a list of my terms, which I knew they would agree to. Once the agreement was signed, the fun began. 2 years of cloak and dagger, living in the shadows until it was time. Really, I thought it through and found this was a win for everyone involved. Or so I thought. Chapter 1, Michelina Amato Sicione. My name is Michelina Frances Amato Sicione. I was born in Brooklyn, New York. My mother, Frances Amato, never married my father. Oh, she had every intention of marrying him. Unfortunately, the Manhattan District Attorney had other plans for my father. Nick Cicerone was, after spending 5 years in Rikers Island, they killed my dad with a shank to his throat. My grandfather Carmine broke the news to my mom. I was too young to know what happened. All I remember is my mom crying and throwing our clothes in her car. She kept repeating that she would never be under Carmine's thumb. That night, we moved out of her parents' house and never moved back. My mom and I moved to Mesa, Arizona. Mom wanted to make a new start, and Arizona had everything she wanted. Life and peaceful until my grandfather, Carmine Francis Amato, died of a heart attack. It's a commonly referred to as the widowmaker. After he died, my mom helped my grandmother sell everything they owned and moved her to Arizona. My grandmother bought a house near my mom in Mesa. They said it was a new start. I was young when this happened, so I don't have a lot of memories of Carmine. The ones I do have are mostly good. One day he was there and then he wasn't. Neither my mom nor grandmother talked about the death in the Amato home. Everyone continues on like it's just another day in paradise. My mom got a job at Boeing where she made some good friends. She never dated or got married. I could never understand why she chose the life she did. I didn't have much of a choice in anything until I was 18. Legally, I took my father's name. Today, my mom and I are at grandma's house, clearing everything out so she can sell it. Grandma's house is in the Red Mountain Ranch community where the neighbors are close and look after each other. Unfortunately, the neighbors can't be there 24/7. Even though Mom's job at Boeing was only 2 miles away, she realized after the fire department's third visit for a minor kitchen fire, it was time. Mom decided it was best to move Grandma into the assisted living community in the same area as her home, giving her peace of mind. She needs to sell the home and use the proceeds to pay for her care. Mom and I don't see eye to eye on most things, but I did promise to help her. It's my only Saturday off from work, and my best friend Jessica wanted to hang out. But the one thing I learned is that you never turn your back on family, no matter what. Thankfully, Jessica was okay with the change of plans. She used the weekend to go visit her folks in Flagstaff. So I'm in the den boxing up books to be donated when I come across an old composition notebook. Mom, look what I found tucked behind some books. I think it was Grandpa's. I hold it out for her to look at, but she waves her hand over it. It's nothing, Shell, just the ramblings of an old man. Throw it away. Throw it away? Why would you throw it away? I want to read it. I don't have very many memories of him. Maybe it will give me a better insight into Grandpa. Shell, what's there to learn? He did things his way. And if you went against him, well, let's just say, I've never met anyone that could hold a grudge longer than my father. You say that like it's a bad thing. You had him your whole life, but I had so little time with him. I remind her. She looks right at me. She doesn't see me. Her eyes fill with tears, which is a rare thing for her. What is she remembering? What could be so painful? Do you do what you want with it, but remember, sometimes things are not always black and white. The only place perfect exists is in a delusional mind. She wipes her eyes and quickly gets back to the task at hand, clearing out this house. Oh, Shell, if you are that interested in finding out more about your grandfather, there are boxes in the attic with all his journals. If you don't want them, then put them out for the trash collector. I race up to the attic and retrieve his stuff. There are 3 bank boxes labeled Carmine's personal stuff. If I open them now, I'll never get done here. Instead, I drag them downstairs and put them in the trunk of my car. When I close the trunk, I stare at it for a moment longer than I should, like inside holds the key to some great mystery. Mom's probably right. They are just ramblings of an old man. I remind myself the sooner we get done here, the sooner this place can go on the market. I hope whoever buys it finds only happiness and love. Mom thought I would buy it, but the sadness here always outweighs the happy times. When I head inside to give Mom the all clear, I find her crying. Mom, what can I do to help? Shell, there's nothing anyone can do. We all live the life we are given, and not always the one we wish for. I give her shoulder a squeeze, turn, and head back out to my car. She follows me. She follows closely behind me. Shell, are you coming home tonight? She says as I step closer to my car. I rent a guest cottage on the grounds of a small estate in Mesa. The owners live in Norway, and for very discounted rent, I take care of the maintenance for the main house. I couldn't afford to buy my own place, so this worked out perfect for me. Mom was not happy about it. Even though she knows I have my own place now, a beautiful one that I call home, she doesn't care. To her, the house I grew up in will always be my home. I turn around, keeping my composure, making sure my face doesn't give away how annoyed I really am. No, I'm heading back to my place, unless you need me. I put it out there knowing she would never force me to change my plans. There are some things I would like to talk to you about, but I guess they can wait. Her smile fades like a sunset at the beach. The guilt I feel knowing how hard all of this has been on her makes me wish I could take back my quick response. You know, Mom, I haven't eaten yet. How about we grab some dinner before I go home? That would be great if you have the time. Always, Mom. I'll follow you to the Bluebird Diner. That's the halfway point for both of us. I can go home after there. She gets into, I get into my car, start it up, roll down the windows. The blast of air conditioner to let me know the heat outside of my car. I'm about to pull out of the driveway, but something's telling me to stop. I look in my rearview mirror before taking off, and I see Mom in her car putting her seatbelt on. She starts her car. Suddenly, there's a tremendous explosion. My car shakes, my back windows splinter. I throw my car in park and get out. The heat hits me, taking my breath away. The explosion set off my own car alarm, preventing me from hearing my own screams. I'm trying to get to her, but someone's pulling me back. When I look over my shoulder, I realize it's the neighbor's grandson, Jimmy. Where did he come from? He wasn't here a minute ago. I try to wiggle free, but his grip is tight. Please, we need to help my mom. There's nothing you can do for her. When my grandpa heard the explosion, he called 911. The police and firefighters are on their way here. They're only a mile up the road. It's still hard for me to hear, but when the flashing lights come into view, I feel hope. Two fire trucks, an ambulance, and two police cars quickly fill the area. The flames get worse as I yell for them to help my mom. The police and the EMT look back. The police and the EMT pull me back toward the ambulance, and Jimmy follows. I watch as the firefighters work on the car and the surrounding area, making sure it's not spreading to the house. Please, you have to help my mom. She was in the car when it blew up. Let the firefighters do their job while I check you over. Can you hear me? You sound muffled, like I have cotton in my ears. My partner's is going to check your vitals while I check for any cuts. Please make it fast. I'm fine, but it's my mom. My voice trails off as I see a firefighter talking to a police officer and shaking his head. Any hope I had of my mom still being alive quickly fades. The officer approaches me with a solemn look on his face. I push away from everyone and head toward him. The policeman introduces himself, but now my ears are ringing, and I'm not sure which is worse. Miss, why don't you move back? Can you tell us what happened? His hand on my back guides me further away from the car. The firefighter follows us, as does Jimmy. I quickly tell him how little I know. Was there anyone else in the car? Knowing full well the answer before he asks. But I guess he has to make sure. No, just my mom. My words echo around my head like yelling in a cavern. Do you know if your mother received any threats recently? If she did, she never told me. However, my mom tends to play her cards close to her chest. If something happened, I would be the last to know. I didn't tell them she wanted to talk to me about something. What would the point be? I don't know what it was, and now I never will. But what about friends, work? Is she in a bad relationship? She has or had one girlfriend at work. Her name is Constance Tucci. She's mom's supervisor. My mom just switched to the third shift at Boeing with the sale of this house and the extra money working third shift. It lets her spend more time with my grandma at the assisted living community. What about financial problems? It's very expensive to keep someone in an assisted living community. Are you not paying attention? I just told you what the plan was. I'm shouting again. Please, miss, I'm trying to help. You can start by calling me by my name, Shell. If you want to help, then tell me what the hell do I do now? The fire didn't spread to the house. When the investigation is done, you can continue with the sale of the house. He will let you know when you can make arrangements for your mom. I'm sorry for your loss. He turns and walks away. The firefighter follows close behind him, writing notes on his pad. I lean against my car, staring at the smoldering pile of what used to be my mom and her car. What the hell was that all about, and what do I do now, Mom? In my mind, I'm asking her, waiting for an answer. The answer will never come. I can tell you what you won't do. You won't give up. Your mom wanted this place gone. She wanted to keep your grandmother as comfortable as possible. I realized I must have been talking out loud. Jimmy, did you know my mom? He hesitates as he drags the tip of his boot in the dirt. No, only in passing or when she would come to talk to my grandpa. I used to keep an eye on your grandma while your mom was at work. She would do the same for me with my grandpa. Look, why don't you come inside and I can make some coffee? The little voice inside my head is telling me no. Thank you, but I think I'm going to head home. I need to figure out what I'm going to tell my grandma when I don't understand all of this myself. I wave my hand around to push the point. He nods and opens the car door for me. For a fleeting second, I'm almost too scared to start my own car again. I shake off that feeling and start my car. I let out a breath I was holding, wave to Jimmy, and back to my house.
Thank you very much. Wow. Um, That's a tense opening scene.
Yes.
Let's start it with an explosion. Yes.
Yes. Blow up my
That's
mother's
a
car.
blow up your mother's card. That's wild. Wow. I'm interested to hear how this progresses and what she figures out. So that I'm super curious now. So you've whetted my appetite. In the green room, we talked that you have published 24 books, and two of them have already landed on the USA Today bestseller list.
Yes.
So are the other books you've written also in the same genre?
Some of them, I have one book that I'm so proud of. I won so many awards for it. I wrote it because I volunteered for 2.5 years at a domestic violence center.
Okay.
And I would constantly see men come in looking for help, and there's no help for them. So I wrote a book out of the shadows based on a man's point of view of what happens when he's the one being abused. He's the one trying to save his child. What happens?
I can
And
imagine that's a powerful story.
it is. It's actually and a Texas college contacted me. They put it on the required reading list.
That's spectacular.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
thank you.
Wow.
And it's won quite a few awards. And I'm proud it's a little book because I could only write it as a novella because
Right.
emotionally, mentally, I couldn't go any further.
No, I can completely understand that.
And
Is there a genre on the list that you just don't think would be your cup of tea?
fantasy.
Why is
Yeah,
that? What is it about the fantasy genre that says, "Oh, I don't know about that one."
because I'm so structured with um, when I'm writing crime and I'm structured with research and the facts and I don't allow a leeway. I don't allow the character to go and do something that I know is so unrealistic.
A side quest.
Yeah, I don't allow that. I did write a little book on a challenge in it's not really fantasy, it's a cozy paranormal.
Oh, fun.
And it was fun. I did it on a challenge in another author who's very big in that genre challenged me to do it and I did and it was fun and in the book I actually put recipes because the book is based on a chef.
That's a nice added touch.
Yeah, so I felt it was something different. I like to explore different genres, but I seem
What
to always fall back.
what is the project you're working on now? What is going to be coming out of the den next?
Oh boy. I have a series, it's called my Fifth series, and he's a New York City detective who's had one hell of a ride, and his life has been very troubled. He watched his father murder his mother when he was 6 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. And so he was adopted by his best friend's family and he built this life. And every book in this Fit series is a different crime. But the core family moves from book to book.
Oh,
And
that's an interesting way to write
yeah,
that.
it's a different way to do it. A lot of people say it reminds them of Blue Bloods, the show Blue Bloods.
Ah, okay.
Uh, and the main character Fitz reminds them of the main character Danny in Blue Bloods because he's always like on that edge, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And does he go over the edge? Well, and so it's the fifth book in that series, and it's called Bloody Matrimony.
And when do
Uh,
you expect that that's going to come out?
July.
Excellent. So we have
Yes.
something new to look forward to.
Yes.
Good, good. You have a whole library of books that you could share with us. Will you come back and read again?
I would definitely come back again. This is fun. I enjoyed
Fantastic.
this.
I'm so glad to have met you today, and I'm going to invest some time in this Black Book series. It really sounds enticing and it very interesting. So I'm glad that you came on the program today to share it with us.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you so much for having me. This was fun.